The Culture Currency show is for those who recognize that nuance is key. We don't pretend to have all the answers, but we tackle the issues that affect the majority when speaking of Black America. Our discussions are informed by the host's personal experiences and insights, and we're always open to evolving our perspective as we gain new understanding. This is the story of two friends from the Bronx who decided to get real, be direct, and impact Black culture.
Welcome to Culture Currency, where culture is the value.
Morning, Rising.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm tired.
Good. Me too, man. I'm tired. I'm going. I'm tell the truth. I'm tired.
I'm tired.
Mm-hmm. Saturday, man.
But ready.
Yeah, but ready. Definitely ready. Facts. No jinxing this morning.
Word. And you can tell.
Right.
How you doing?
Fairly well.
Besides tired.
No, fairly well. No complaints. I'm good.
Good.
Life feeling good. Just, it's good.
Good.
Yeah, you?
Same.
All right.
I can't complain.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Life is good. It don't feel like life is life and not this moment. It's cool.
Yeah.
Chilling.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about something that has been heavy in the headlines recently due to a few celebrities going through some motions. It's obviously been a conversation that's been in existence forever.
Yep.
But since it is something that has come back, and it has always been something that I wanted to address due to its definition continuously changing.
Right.
I want to speak about snitching.
Yes. Oh, yes. No, you like we have the claps in the background. Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I'm just so over it. Yeah.
I'm Mahogany.
I'm Ish.
And this is Culture Currency.
Well, culture
is the value.
It's a fact.
The word snitch has changed in definition. When I was growing up, it was a street term for people who were engaging together in illegal activity.
Right.
And under that agreement, one of them decided once they get caught, they're not going to stick to the agreement of taking the consequences that come along with their actions.
Absolutely.
Today, it is known as just telling on someone.
Right.
Where you stand with this?
Well, you already, knowing me, you can ask me the question for other people, but you know me, and you already know where I stand with this. I feel like, just like we were saying with the other subjects and stuff, that the definitions don't change. People are changing with time and making it convenient for them. And I feel like, just like other cultures are dissipating, I think it's the same thing with street culture. That is not the same as what it was. Actually, things don't have to be the same, but they don't have to get worse. I feel like folks are not honoring the codes that they are living by. And one of them is the snitching rule, where it's just something that's just happening all over the place. Folks are just snitching to get themselves out of situations. They're not laying in the beds that they made. I think that snitching is definitely not something that a civilian can do if they're not involved in activity. They're doing what they should do as a civilian and get protection from the police or report crimes that are harming their neighborhoods or their families, doing exactly what they're supposed to do. And it's a conversation I've had to have with young people all the time. And so let's just continue to get into it.
When I think about it, I find that a lot of people who don't engage in street activity still converse about it and have an opinion on snitching. They don't look fond of it.
Right.
And some are like, hey, things have changed, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Where I stand is I am principle driven.
Right.
So although I don't think that you should be doing anything that aligns with criminal activity, I don't think that you should be in a commitment with criminal activity. But if that is where you are, that is something you agree to.
Right.
And so when it comes down to snitching, it's under the umbrella of dishonor and disloyalty.
Right. It definitely is. It definitely is, because when you do something with somebody, right, and one of y'all get caught, to say they got us is crazy. You know what I mean?
Yo, come from underneath.
Yeah,
there.
Yo, they got us. It's over. I can't believe it. We knew this might happen.
Not we.
Not we.
Not we French all of a sudden.
Yeah. So it's like, I think that's definitely horrible. And I remember a time when I was faced with that kind of dilemma myself. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it would necessarily be called snitching, but something happened and I was around. Mm-hmm. And I didn't go there for that, but something happened. And then, but I was the one arrested. Mm. And then detectives came to my house, arrested me, all of that, and then put me in this other room. And it was like, they said that you did this. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, I didn't. Mm-hmm. And I don't know who did, right? So I don't know if I would have told, if that would have been considered snitching. But at the end of the day, would I have been considered, let me ask you this. Do you think that would have been considered snitching if I was around when the incident happened, right? And I said, I didn't do it, so-and-so did. And I had a relationship with that person. Say it was me and you, I was there, things got crazy, you hurt somebody, and then I'm like, I didn't do it, Mahogany did. What would you have felt about that?
What would I have felt about that? I don't live by those rules.
Well, what would you call it snitching?
In today's understanding of snitching, they would call that snitching, right? In regard to my belief system, I'm having a hard time answering that because from where I stand up people stand up.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So if I did something, you're not even supposed to be put in a position
to have to make that decision.
Decision.
But being from where I'm from and growing up the way I'm growing up, no, I didn't say anything. And was I willing to put myself in a compromising position? Yeah, unfortunately, because of my relationship with the person. You know what I mean? Where I couldn't just say so-and-so did that. I just couldn't do it.
I don't believe me even today in that position that I would just offer up anyone.
Right.
I don't think I would be like, yo, so-and-so said.
Right.
So-and-so did.
Right. You'll wait for the person to step up like it's time to step up.
Absolutely. I did not.
Right.
Is what I'm going to say.
Right.
I did not.
Exactly.
I don't know who did, but I did not.
Right.
And give the opportunity for the other person to state what it was.
Right.
If at any point it shows that you're going to let me go down for, do you really believe I'm supposed to have more loyalty to you than me?
Right. See, so that's what I'm saying. Right.
Now
it's like now you're not saying nothing at all.
That's crazy.
Or you're not even giving me the opportunity to say, nah, don't say nothing. I got it. Or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, nah. You know? Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. So what's the difference between that and snitching?
Someone under those guides would still think that it's snitching. Today. In the past, I don't think that the people that I grew up under who were in the street believe that you're supposed to take somebody's time if you weren't involved in it.
Right.
That wasn't what that was.
Right.
It was an involvement. You had to be involved.
Right.
You knew what the consequences would be if you got caught.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, you don't want to deal with those consequences.
Right.
That's a totally different scenario.
Exactly.
Right. But the example that you gave was, we're out somewhere. I got upset and did something. That's first off, that spur of the moment. You didn't sign up for that. I didn't come in for that, but it happened. That's a different scenario. Right, so it's not we went into something together. It's not like you was like, yo, so and so acted up over here. We going over
right,
this,
and then it's like
spanking something.
Right,
and now
I'm calling you like, yo, they got me. So when you come in,
you gotta come on because they already know it's us.
They already know it's us. So
it's different,
right?
You know what I mean? That's a very different scenario. So it gets really funny, but I don't understand today's thought process. I completely understand yesterday's thought process. Agreement is agreement. You do something, you know there's consequences, and if you get caught up, you have to deal with what comes with that.
Right.
That's period. That's not just street code.
Exactly.
That's just something that's a life.
Yeah,
right?
You make your bed, you lay in it. That's really what the street code is, right? I mean, that's what life code is. You make your bed, you lay in it. Right.
Today's version, the twisted definition says, regardless of involvement, you're supposed to put me ahead of you.
Right.
That's crazy.
Supposed to hold it down. Right.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I'm not doing that.
Right. Somebody that has something to live for is not.
No, there's no way in hell that you're going to do something that I'm not involved in.
Right.
You're not going to take it. You're like, yo, they're going to take time away from her life.
Right.
But I'm asking for you to do that for me.
Right.
Why would I do that? Agreement is an agreement.
Right.
So if we had a discussion and I'm like, yo, you know what? You're more valuable outside than inside. I'm gonna do that.
Right.
Make sure I'm good when I come out. That's a whole nother conversation.
Absolutely. Now, what if the person says, all right, don't worry, I got you. I'm going to take care of things while you're in there. And then they don't do shit for you or your family. What happens?
Agreement is agreement is agreement.
Right.
Now we got a whole nother problem, right? Because first of all, I ain't doing nobody's time. I speak on this platform every time we sit down about my freedom.
Right.
It's not happening.
Right.
Right? It's just not happening.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to that scenario of if that did happen and I took some time for somebody and they didn't show up as they agreed to, I have the same outlook on agreements.
Right.
If I say I'm gonna do, my word is my bond. I live by that.
Right. Word is bond.
If you've known me throughout my entire life, even when I was in my weakness, you knew that was me.
Right.
I said it, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
It has to be something really dire for me not to stick to my word.
Right.
Right. So I believe that.
Yeah.
So an agreement is an agreement.
Right.
If you shift on the agreement, I'm looking at you different.
Absolutely.
Because now we're the trust.
Yeah, it was right.
Right. So people, when you talking about your life, you talking about time that you don't get back.
Right.
Man, listen.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're involved in something and you're not willing to pay the consequences if they were to come,
Don't do it.
Then don't do it. Like, for example, I didn't leave the streets because any other reason other than I did not want to go to jail. If I don't want to go to jail, and then say if I went to jail for what I was doing, but when I realized that I can go to jail for other people's stuff, just for being outside and being around, they could trump the charges, they could do all this kind of stuff. I don't want to go through all of that. You know what I mean? So guess what? I'm gonna have to leave. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not what I want to do. So if you don't want to pay the consequences of what you want to, of what you may have to do, stop doing it.
Absolutely.
And then also, if you're around people that you know is not about that life, and you bringing them with you to do stuff that's about that life, then you deserve.
You're asking for it.
You're asking for it.
You're asking for it.
You're asking
the thing
for it.
is, as people, right? This is culture currency. As black folks, we already got enough strikes against us.
Right.
Adding more bricks to the wall that's already created in front of us is ridiculous, right? And I understand getting caught up in your youthful years, even though I hope that doesn't have to be people's story. But as you get more mature, when you get to I want to say your late 20s, you should be looking at life a lot differently.
Right.
The value of life should be changing for you at this point.
Yeah. But then you know what though? What's so crazy is that we're talking about that, but you're talking about a mature mind. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're younger, you're not even thinking about the consequences, which is stuff that we've talked about. You know what I mean? So you got kids out here doing things and committing crimes and having a hard time facing those consequences because they didn't even consider them.
But that's what these conversations is about, right? I don't want to lean on what people don't usually do. I want to give them the understanding that this is what you need to be doing, right? I remember I told this story a few times. I stole from a store one time. The embarrassment of that moment said, "Don't do this again."
Right.
That was a lesson.
They took a picture and stuff?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
That was they scared me to death.
Got you.
I thought my sensei was gonna get called. I thought that they was gonna call the dojo, and back then, the threat was 4 fingers and a thumb. You get your fingers broken if you get caught stealing. I'm looking like they gonna break my damn fingers. And thank God they never called.
But you didn't think about the consequences when you was doing it.
Exactly.
Right.
So the moment I did, but I was what? I was like 10 years old.
Right.
I'm 10 years old. I got the lesson at 10 and then never did it again for the rest of my life.
Right.
But this is my point. You make your mistakes early.
Right.
Grab the lesson early.
Right.
Don't take that shit with you in the future.
Exactly. Don't be a sucker because I'm really not. I mean, it's just so horrible that people are doing things together and then as soon as they get caught, just telling on each other like that. And it's like an everyday thing. That's why another reason why the streets are so scary today. There is no loyalty. You outside, you doing your 1-2. This is the scariest time ever to be on the street doing things because nobody is loyal to each other. It's every man for themselves for real.
You know the crazy thing is in that scenario with stealing, it was me and Jessica, right? And I told this story. They emptied my bag, found mad stuff, emptied her bag, found nothing. We went in to steal together, right? And I was mad at her for not stealing, right? Because we were supposed to be in this together. Right. I'm mad at her for not doing the wrong thing.
Right.
And she's looking at me like, why did you continue to do the wrong thing? Because the guy was following us in the store.
And you still did it.
And I still did it. I'm sticking to what the agreement, because I'm bugged out. I'm bugged. We said we doing this, we doing this.
Well, no, but you still, okay,
but something had changed.
Right.
And I ain't considered a change. She considered the change. Right. So I'm looking at her like we agreed. Like, and she looking at me like, but
you didn't see that. Right.
So mindset is big in this thing, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a lack of allegiance to me, her not stealing, right? But when you're doing things you're not supposed to be doing, it's we do this together, regardless of the circumstances,
right?
And that's just not okay,
right? It's just not right. I mean, because that was just the whole.
I should have been following her instead of her following me. Let's
absolutely.
be clear.
It's like, okay, babe, no, we gotta come back to this. This is not the time. You gonna still do it
because she ain't say nothing. I told her she made the assumption I made the adjustment,
right? Because she's seeing.
Because I saw the guy and I said, "Be careful, dude's watching us." So when I said dude's watching us, she just was like, all right,
it's
plan over.
Right.
She already changed course. I did not. I stuck to the plan because I'm like, I was paying attention. Obviously not enough. So we get caught. I get caught with the stuff. I'm embarrassed. And I'm embarrassed at the end. It's funny. It's not that I was embarrassed that I got caught. I was embarrassed that I was the thief out of the two. Like we wasn't stealing,
we
I was stealing. I'm
like, right. It's like, why was you stealing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I ain't like the way that looked.
Well,
I ain't like the way it felt.
Well, was it? Now we
Never
both
did it
went.
again.
We both went, but I decided not to take none because they was watching us. Was that ever said?
Nah. It was just I had an attitude like, what? Like what you did? And she's like, you said. And I just had to eat it because she was right. I said. She's like, you said he was following us.
Right.
Like, what the
hell is wrong with you, psycho? That's crazy. Let me ask you this. I was just talking to one of my brothers, and he was telling me about what's his name, Charles White.
Charles White.
He's a mess. Yeah, whole mess. So it was this kid, this rapper. He had a single or whatever, and it started doing some numbers. And Charles White came out and said he's a snitch. He's a snitch, right? And the young man, you know, he started losing his popularity. A known rapper took his feature off of his song, and the kid felt suicidal and everything because he told on something when he was 12 years old. Right? Something he witnessed or something like that when he was 12 years old. Not that he was in the street. Now he's in his 20s. And now Charles White came out and said that. I felt like Charles White was a clown for that and dead wrong. You know what I mean? For even making that a thing for this kid that did something when he was a kid. It wasn't even a street kid.
Well, if you pay attention to Charles White's
rhetoric,
he's very intelligent. He's informed, but he's very manipulative. And he's playing the hypocrisy game the same way everyone else is. He doesn't understand the detriment to his lack of ability to be consistent. He's very informed, so that's powerful. And that in itself, his ability to speak, be informed, brings following. And that's a powerful thing. But when you are inconsistent with your speech, when you kind of play both ends, you are doing us a great disservice. His conversation is, well, when I was doing it the right way, nobody wanted to hear me.
Oh.
So now I'm doing it this way and everybody's paying attention.
Right.
But they're not paying attention to follow your information. They're paying attention because you're funny.
Right.
We're laughing at you.
Right.
We're not learning from you.
Right.
And there's a difference. And that goes back to our first season when I was like, yo, we laugh too much. Everything is not fucking time to joke.
Right. Facts.
We need to get serious about some things.
Yeah.
And he should have stayed the course. But when it comes down to that scenario, I don't know what his intention was. It sounds to me like his intention was to
diminish his character,
to show the hypocrisy of people. To say, y'all don't believe in snitching, but he snitched and he's popular. And later on say, he was a kid. So how y'all feel about, putting him on a cross when he wasn't even, in a state to make certain decisions. But that doesn't come across.
Right.
Because of the way you're doing it.
Right.
And I can't say that that's what his intention really was.
No, but that's good though, because sometimes we see slices of things that could have been the full video. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm talking about hearsay. You know what I mean? And there's a possibility that how the information came to me came from a short. where it wasn't the full video, actually. You know what I mean?
He does things like that because he's trying to make points.
Yep.
But he doesn't understand that it doesn't get across that way.
Right.
Like, I really would like to sit with him from a really mature standpoint. Excuse this character that you created. Let's have a real conversation because you're powerful enough to be super impactful, but you're only impactful from a space of angering people and ruffling feathers. You're not really being impactful from a space of leadership. Right. And that's what we need, leaders.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need. I was also thinking about Whack 100. He has this thing on YouTube where he's addressing snitching and what the new rules are, right? And he's not saying those are his rules, but he's saying this is what it looks like now. And one of the things he said was, if you and somebody do something and then they tell on you first, then you can tell on them.
Oh, okay. So the contract is broken.
Right. So you told me I'm gonna tell on you. But the thing about that is it's trickery. Because first of all, the thing about this is one thing that I've been taught. I always talk about this with my older brother. Who you are is who you are. You gotta stand on who you are. You can't let someone else's actions change who you are, right? So if your thing is, that's not what I do, right? I don't believe in snitching. I'm not a snitch. I'm whatever I do, I'm taking my time. I do my crime, I'm taking my time. And then the text with somebody coming to you and be like, well, your man said that. You did it. Like, what? He was right there. Or she was right there. Da, 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 da. If that's not you, then that's not you. Right? So, I think that rule is another bullshit-ass rule.
Where it gets tricky is a part of the police's arsenal is being deceitful.
Exactly.
They say what they need to say to get whatever they need to get out of you. So you never know if the other person actually told on you or not.
Right.
That's why I wasn't even playing that playground. You know what I mean?
It's too tricky.
That's why I wasn't even playing that playground. That's one of the things you don't know. You don't know if you're the one who's voiding the contract. They're going to tell you whatever they need to tell you to get whatever out of you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I just don't play in that park.
Yeah. And then also I feel like some people can actually use that. It's like, no, because they said, so I said.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
Them saying don't mean a damn thing.
I just think outside this is a dangerous place to be this day and age because you're just not safe. Everybody's not protecting each other and every man for themselves.
Well,
and then also it's actually a job now. When you start talking about doing things that you know you ain't supposed to be doing, it becomes like it's funny. It's a funny place to be because when I look back at me, being in the streets when I was doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing. You can't have this high moral ground in a space where you're lacking morality. But it has to be no matter what walk of life. There's always rules.
Of course, there's always rules.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I understand what you're saying.
I'm just saying that
it's ironic.
Yeah, it's like
they say, no honor amongst thieves.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
That's exactly the point.
Right.
Like expecting someone to be a great human when they're doing something that obviously states that they're not in that space.
Right.
It's like, what do you really expect?
Right. Yeah.
Some things are going to lack because they're not there.
Right, they're not there. Right. So that's a good point, too.
You're putting yourself in a sticky situation anyway because at some point...
the morality is already lacking, so it's a little more.
Exactly. Now they're in between the rock and the hard place, and it's going to push that. So some people, their morality will stand at a certain space during these times because it's not that trying. The moment that the fire hit, it's like, oh, no, now I'll bend this a little bit.
Right.
I'll bend it. We all been in places where we like... Nah, this one,
right?
I could bend on this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because let's be clear, everything has levels. Everything is a spectrum. So there are things that we believe at the highest level, and then there are things that come beneath that. Right. So there's levels to things. So the thing that I believe in at the highest level is the thing that there is nothing gonna budge me on.
That's right.
And then there are things that's like
you're on the fence about it already. Yeah.
It's not necessarily on the fence, but I'm not as dead set on it as this thing here.
To do something
Something might, depending on the situation, circumstances, timing, something might be able to say,
Right. I'm just so happy that God has saved me and that I'm living a legal life because of where I come from. I probably would have been, who knows, whatever, end up caught up in a whole other kind of situation and literally took some time. And the reason being is because of the culture growing up in my family, watching my father did time and his brothers and all that. None of them told on each other. Everybody together went and they did time. But guess what? The judge respected them for that. They could have got a lot of more time if everybody start talking.
I mean, commitment
You know what I'm
is
saying?
to be respected.
Exactly.
Regardless
of whatever. Right.
Commitment.
Right.
The principle of commitment
Right.
is to be respected.
Right. And a
even
lot
if
of ways,
it's not in the greatest space.
Right. And that's unheard of. For, in a lot of places, like people are really telling each other, so everybody, but they did not. And I think just having that example or just having that experience growing up is just, when something is to your core. So I'm just so happy that I've been saved, that I don't even have to make those kind of decisions.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I know for sure. Had I kept moving in spaces that I was moving in, I probably would have seen a jail cell. But it would have been because I just believe in, if I make my bed, I have to land.
I have to land. I got to take me. Like, I understand you a sucker, can't rock with you or whatever like that. But it's like, this is what I did. I got to pay. I believe in paying for your your consequences.
Yeah. I never was upset. Like, I was a kid who was spanked. I got beatings growing up. The only beatings I've ever been upset about was beatings I didn't deserve.
Right.
If I deserved it,
it's like, damn,
I chalked it up to, you know what I mean? It's part of the game.
Right.
But the ones that it was like, yo, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I fought and I held that for a life.
Yeah.
Like, to this day, I will speak about something.
Like, I
didn't do that.
Right.
I didn't deserve that.
Right.
So I'm big on that stuff.
Right.
So I know I would have did time if I got caught doing something,
because you principled in that, and I feel the same way.
And but when it comes down to sticking to agreements at a fault, I've been that. Yeah, I told you I've been in
that's
some really
part.
Weird stuff too, like things that people are like, yo, you are not well in the head, right? Because anybody else would have took a different, like, you would have pivoted, right? I don't pivot. Right. Well, I didn't pivot. Right. I pivot now. That's why my conversation is different now. With the agree, it's like, nah, then once the agreement is void, because I stuck. I almost got married to somebody who wasn't as committed as me because I'm sticking to my agreement. Right? I almost robbed the bank. Right. Because I was sticking to my agreement. Like, crazy stuff, really weird stuff that people was like, no, at what point you didn't come to the conclusion that this is no. Right. No more. Yeah. And I'm still like, no, we agreed. Yeah, we said this already. Yeah. Weird. But now I understand, like, yo, now you I don't know, that's a sign of, like, the spectrum a little bit, I think. Like, shut up. You overdoing it. Like the high end. Yeah, I know I'm an extreme personality. Yeah. But I have learned from that. Like, I was given the tools and the understanding now that it's like, yo, no, you don't stick to a commitment that's no longer a commitment. Right. When two people come together, two or more people come together in a committed situation, once the others are no longer committed, you are not held to that standard anymore. Right. You know what I mean? And that's important. But also, if you, like, for example, you know how you want to out to something, but you still part of it, you can't claim you wasn't a part of it. Like, I think I told you the story before when I was OJ, I was driving the cabs. And picked up my cousin one day or whatever, and then he decided that he wanted to rob people. You know what I mean? So he got out my car, went and checked to see if somebody's chain was real. Like, I said, damn, that's what made me just, everything makes you super vigilant, different things. Like, anyway, my whole point is that he decided to get out my car because he thought this guy's chain was real. Looked like, he was like, oh, shit, fake, and didn't take it. That is the last time he was able to get in my goddamn car. You understand? However, if I continue to pick him up and I know what he's doing, now I'm part of that. Now, if he get caught, I can't say, I wasn't doing that. I was just a cab. But he was, no, I'm a part of that because you are now aware. That's the other part, right? That's the other side. So the same way that we're talking about people who are in it, sticking to that, there is also a level of ethics when you're in the streets and you're involved in shit that you know the people around you are not involved in. Right. Making sure that you don't bring it around them, or when you do, you let them know that you're bringing it around them. Exactly. That. Don't leave a gun in my car. That's not okay. Yeah, exactly. I did. I told this story. I don't know if I told it on camera, but I know I told it to you. I'm not going to say the name because I called someone close to me. They was doing the same thing. They were OJ. They was driving a cab. And why call regular cab when you got somebody you know drive? You put the money in their pocket. So I call him, wait for him to come get me. And we get to a specific spot in Harlem where they always waiting to see if somebody is going to stop for this stop sign. He does stop for the stop sign. But for some reason, we go through and the police, whoop, whoop. I'm tight because I'm Miss Principal.
Right.
Why are you stopping us?
For no reason.
For no reason.
We followed the rules.
Right? So I'm mouthy and I get the nudge. He like, chill. So they take his identification. And when they walk away, I'm like, yo, what are you nudging me for? Like, you stopped. I know you stopped because I watched you stop. He's like, I'm dirty. I'm dirty. Put this under your seat.
Under my seat? That put this 10 years right here?
I'm not done. I am not done. I'm dirty. Put this under your seat because I'm going to close the doors when I get out because they're going to arrest me. I'm driving without a license.
Double negative? That's another thing that you can't do double negative, man. You can't smoke weed with guns in the car.
I'm cabbing without a license while dirty. Like, they can't check the car. I'm going to get out the car, lock the doors. They can't check it once the doors is locked.
I thought that was just for the
sure.
Trump.
Nah, it's true. Just make sure he gave me his money. Make sure my mother...
Not the plans.
And I'm in utter disbelief
like,
that you can't... I called you for a cab ride.
That's it. That's it. Now I got to hold drugs and then pay and make your family is good?
I called you for a cab ride. You picked me up without a license with drugs in your car. Needless to say, get out the car, call his mom's, make sure she got his money, and she could pick up his car. But now I'm a part of your shit that I did not ask to be a part of.
In a very risky situation. Yep.
Yeah, you appreciate the fact that I held it down.
Nah, but I don't appreciate what you put me in.
But I don't appreciate the fact that you put me in this situation.
Stop putting y'all people in situations, man, where they got to make these crazy situations.
You can't say you care about me and do that.
Yeah, you don't.
I remember, and I had another situation.
That's some selfish shit, and it happens every day.
Where I used to hang out in Pelham Parkway. Guy I knew named this nigga was he was selling, and we outside just talking. It's broad daylight. Early in the day, we outside, we talking shit, walking down the block. The cops is around. This is 90s, so I'm young. He has this big Ziploc bag full of crack. And this nigga tried to pass it to me. Broad daylight in front of the cops talking about, yo, they don't check girls. I literally...
You said this?
Hit the floor, nigga.
The fuck are you talking about?
Yo, what?
I would have never knew you. You would have come out like, wow, things are so different.
Step back, hands up, like, yo. He's like, yo, what you doing, nigga? Is you crazy?
Yeah.
Like, literally, I wanted to fight him.
Yeah, that's...
Like, who you think you dealing with?
Yo, that happened to me one day.
Who you think you dealing with?
Something like that happened to me one day with cops was behind us. I was with some folks, and the cops were behind us, and they was like, yo, boof that. Like, put it in my butt. I'm like, first of all, just the thought of that, I'm like, I would go to jail first. Boof that. I'm like, no. That's the first thought. That is going to my butt. So that was the first thought. But it's just like, yo, it's just... I can't think... I'm not laughing because this is real. Nah. It's not boofing.
Yo, you didn't put it in my butt.
Just couldn't fathom that.
Yo,
I said, damn, the time I would have got because I refused to do that is crazy.
Yo, nah, what? Nah, I can't even... Yo, I can't even believe they said that to you. What you mean, boof that?
Yeah, because I didn't know. Do it mean just your cheeks or do I got to go by that? I wasn't too experienced with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I just can't do it. I'm not, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the specifics here. I need clarity. I need clarity on what that exactly means. No.
Yo, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, all right, so we already know you like That's a non-cipher.
That's non-cipher. What? That's the top of the, you know what I'm saying? That's the top of the thing. Oh, no matter what.
Yo,
Yeah.
so how that end?
They ain't even pay attention to that, so it was like it would have been the extras for what?
Yo, that was crazy. Nah, that was
Yeah, but it
crazy.
didn't. But the whole thing is just not being part of that. Like it just feels so good to not be part of none of that. Like I'm chilling, man. I enjoy my life and what I'm doing, man. I don't got to worry about none of that.
That's
I don't got to make those bad decisions. Nothing. If I'm going any decision that I make, and then it's like, damn, I made that decision.
Whatever I create, I'm gonna live with it. But if I ain't create it, nah.
You're not making me feel
Nah. I'm way too advanced for that at this point in my life,
exactly.
man. And obviously we already had our understanding, certain understanding back then.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For us to come to those conclusions with specific situations at that time.
Right.
But some of the things that people ask for in the streets is unrealistic. You're already dealing with some immoral circumstances. Understand that you're gonna have to deal with immorality
And the
throughout.
consequences. Yeah, that's a good thing. Even though it's not okay, that is what it is. So just know that you in the street, you by yourself.
That's a fact.
That's it.
Yeah, I think we did it.
I think so.
That
too.
was
good.
was funny.
Yeah, that shit wasn't funny.
Boof this.
That shit wasn't funny, y'all.
Crazy. I'm Mahogany.
I'm Age.
And this is Culture Currency.
With culture
is the value.
Make sure to like, subscribe,
share,
and comment.
And comment.
Peace.